Hello everybody and welcome back to the ComplexlySpant channel. Today we'll be talking about the joy that is constant stimulation. You can think of this, well, at least the way I'll be referencing it is thinking like the Subway Surfers at the bottom of a screen, or like just like all the quick little hits of dopamine to make you fast and like happy and oh wow, there's so much going on at once. And just kind of explaining my thoughts on it, partially as someone who is like a young adult, I guess is a better word, not really teenager anymore. But just kind of explaining my thoughts on it and then how I approach it and how I am guilty of using like these little quick hit things in my own content as well. So yeah, just kind of explaining my thoughts on it. So first of all, I'm sure as everyone kind of is aware by now, short form content is huge. And short form content often involves like just instantly you have to have their attention within the first like millisecond, just like fast, like this unbelievable thing's gonna happen and it's crazy. And then like they drag out throughout the course of the video, like, and this thing is coming up later, but like first we need to do this thing, and like all this stuff is constantly being thrown at you. You're constantly getting hits of like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, so exciting. And then if you don't like it, you just go swipe to the next thing, and then it's like a gamble. It's like you have that fun little gamble of, do I get a hit of dopamine for getting more hits of dopamine? And it like feels really good until your dopamine is always being used, which then now here's the thing, I'm not a scientist, but like this is kind of like my general observation of it. I feel like generally the more your dopamine gets used, the less impactful it is on you. And it also, at least from my personal experience as well, if I constantly am getting like hits of dopamine from either watching YouTube or playing video games or like stuff like that, it makes me not want to put in the effort to do things that are like longer term things, like working on school assignments or working on videos. I mean, that's a great example too. And because I'm like, well, I get dopamine from completing a huge project. Like, I get a ton of that when I finish something really big and something that like I needed to plan out and something that matters. But I could either do that and it's work and there's a part I don't enjoy, or I can sit and just swipe if I want to, which thankfully I am pretty good about not really watching short form content, just because I personally just don't like it a lot. I think it's super unhealthy. It's destroying our attention spans, obviously. And I guess that kind of ties me into the next thing I was going to talk about is I am also someone who makes short form content. On my main channel, as I'm sure you've seen, and if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, I just re-upload on Instagram and TikTok if you prefer those platforms, and it's easy that way. So I post short form content that does have those like attention grabbing devices. And so kind of it seems hypocritical to say like, well, I hate these things because I think it's awful for us. But with that said, here's a product that's the exact same thing I hate. And I'm just going to straight up say, yes, I am being hypocritical, because that's kind of the game that you have to play as a content creator, it feels like. And I think it's also very important for like brand recognition, like my face being recognizable. It's another outlet in which my face can be recognized by someone. So if they see me in a longer form video, which is my ultimate, like, that's the thing I like actually care about, and the thing like I actually care about people watching and want people to watch, they'll recognize that face and be like, oh, I've seen this face before, therefore I have more of an established bond or trust with it. And yeah, I could care less about how well shorts do, but I also do try to make sure that I keep my branding consistent, make sure it's not like super like brain rot, like sound effect, oh my gosh, this thing's gonna happen, the world's gonna blow up in 2 seconds, kind of thing. So if you watch my shorts, like, yeah, they have a quick beginning, they have a little click at the beginning to like get your brain like, ooh, I heard a sound that I like or whatever. Just little things like that will like draw you in. And my shorts do have pretty good retention rate. I think I have like 90% retention rate for the people who watch my shorts on average, which is really high. And I mean, the shorts do pretty well. Like 10,000 views is pretty normal for my shorts, which is great. I mean, like, for my size of channel, I feel like, at least. But I mainly do that just for the purposes of like facial recognition and just spreading my brand. It's not because I actually really love doing shorts. I mean, it's a fun like editing challenge, because it's something, you very much have to edit it differently than you would like a mini documentary league video, which is what I really like making. But yeah, the main reason I make short form content is mainly just for brand recognition, as well as that little additional challenge from time to time. But it's not something I highly value. If something has to go on the channel, if I don't have time, it's going to be short form content. But just being aware of like, I guess I'll kind of tie this up by just saying, just be aware that your short form content does kind of destroy your dopamine receptors and stuff like that. And I've noticed that as someone who hasn't really gotten too deep into the short form content rabbit hole in my life, thankfully, that I have a much higher attention span and able to like commit to long-term things. And it's something I recommend staying away from. So yeah, that's why I prefer longer form content personally. That's why the videos I make on the main channel are like more documentary style. Yeah, they do of course have things for like keeping a viewer engaged, because I do find that element obviously important, because that's how work gets shared, is by the watch time be good. Therefore, people are spending more time on YouTube, so YouTube promotes it. But ultimately, yeah, I think long form content is definitely just much better because it actually has a little bit of a story, as opposed to just being big like dopamine hits all the time, just to keep you like entertained for the 20 seconds, then it goes away into oblivion and the next thing comes up in like a little roulette spinning wheel. So, but yeah, that's all I really got to say today. I think, yeah, I just really don't like short form content personally. This is kind of my philosophy as for how I apply it to my own content. A little hypocritical, a little bit of branding, but yeah, that's what it is, and I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So take care, and hope you have a great rest of your day or night. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in a couple weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.